This is Radio TV Phono Nut, and today I was on a battery hunt for AA, AAA, 9-volt C and D batteries that I need for various things. But batteries have gotten really expensive, so I try to stick with the off brands. They usually work well enough for what I need. Ended up going in Dollar Tree and finding everything but the 9-volt batteries. So we went by Dollar General. It was on our route, and the only 9-volt battery they had was, or the only 9-volt batteries they had was an ever-ready $4 and something for one freaking battery, one 9-volt transistor radio battery, or an Energizer 2-pack for $9 and something. And I said to myself, there's no way that's going to happen. If I have to go home and order a bulk pack off of the internet, then that's what I'll do. Now, everybody screams shop local, shop local, shop local. I'm all for that up to a point, but when I can't find what I need locally, or what they have locally is what I consider a ludicrous price, then yeah, I'm going to go home and order it off the internet. So we left the Dollar General after I refused to pay them $4 for one 9-volt battery, and went to Rose's, which is a discount store, and they had 9-volt batteries, a 2-pack for $1. And while I was looking in the electronics section, I caught a couple of things that were interesting. They're still selling these little AM/FM pocket radios. This is a Supersonic brand, model SC1105. And it covers the FM band from 76 to 108 megacycles. I think that's for the Japanese band. And then it covers the AM band from 530 to 1600. Oddly enough, this doesn't have the extended AM band that goes up to, 1710. I think this was $7.99. And I expect it to perform about like an $8 radio. Now, looking on YouTube, there appears to be a nearly identical Sony model to this, except the Sony's in a silver case, and it covers the standard 88 to 108 megacycle FM band. And then I looked and saw this QFX radio that receives standard FM and AM, plus a couple of shortwave bands. Now, someone did a review on this one on YouTube, and for a cheap radio, theirs did pretty good on AM and FM, but the shortwave band, you had to keep the antenna down pretty low. If you raise the antenna to its full height, thought I heard a bird or a squirrel or something there. But anyway, if you raise the antenna to its full height, the FM stations bleed over on the shortwave band and make it unusable. I think this was $16.99, and I know these are probably not going to be ultra hot performers, but I was impressed to actually see a standalone AM/FM radio and a pocket radio in a retail store, since these are getting so hard to find these days. A few years ago, a lady at church she said, I want just a standard AM/FM table radio that you can plug into an AC outlet and turn on and use, and I have not been able to find one in a store. She said, all I'm finding are these things with boom boxes and MP3 players and stuff like that in them, and she said, I don't need nothing like that. I need just an AM/FM radio with an off-on volume knob and a tuning knob, and that's all I need. So I had one here, and I gave it to her, and that was years ago, and I think she's still using it. I don't know if these radios use a standard variable capacitor for tuning, or if these are DSP tuned with a potentiometer. I suspect DSP. Alright. Alright, come on out of there. Alright, there's our radio. Here's our little instruction thing, safety precautions and that sort of thing. I think they also had one there with a cassette recorder in it, but I wasn't gonna buy that one, at least not today. I may look next time I go, but now apparently these radios have been around for years. I don't know if these are current production, but we know a lot of these discount stores, they get overstock of stuff that may be several years old, and that could very well be what this is. Alright, this has that cheap, plasticky, Chinesium feel to it, which I'm not surprised by. So 88, 108 to 108, well, let's try that again. 88 to 108 megahertz, AM 530 to 1600, shortwave 1, 3.2 to 10.2, and shortwave 2, 9.8 to 22. And then we have our handle and telescopic rod antenna and our battery compartment door here. And this also has an AC input, so that's nice. Alright, let's see how AM does.
Then click on the banner or search iHeartHoliday and start listening to your local holiday station. Stations playing all kinds of music, Christmas classics, Christmas jazz, country, R&B.
Selectivity is not very good.
Aiden O'Connell. That's not the Raiders, Chargers.
No.
December battle.
We thought it was going to be Jimmy G versus Herbert for...
Sound quality's not too bad.
Preseason. Al Michaels, I was getting the vibe he was aggravated about something. Yeah, it just seems like
executives.
The enthusiasm isn't there, but even though he's with Amazon, NBC was going to have him be part of one of their playoff games. They're going in a different direction.
A lot of popping going on there. Popping going on that station too.
Including on the races on the CBD. Traffic is light to moderate on the I-10 West through Metairie and Center.
That's WWL. That's about 20 minutes to 5 in the afternoon. A lot of interference here. Alright, we're on FM. A bit of filter hum there. We're on FM, and just the scan I did off camera, very touchy, and the dial calibration's a bit off. Selectivity ain't too good on this either. And you can tell by the way it's popping as I tune, this is going to be a DSP set, I think. That's a classic country station. That's a little harder to pick up, so that's impressive. That part of it. That is, anyway.
The most wonderful time of the year is here, and
the history of football. And
Impala, chrome hydraulics, 808 drums, you don't want.
That's an alternative rock station, I believe. It's hard to pick up. Oh, are we fixing to, is the country fixing to be destroyed by exploding Brandon bombs?
Justin is listening. Sorry we ruined the surprise. Yeah, but otherwise, yeah, congratulations.
Best music. 102 JKX.
Well, that's impressive. This station's about 90 miles away.
Like we're all going, yeah, we know Joe Biden really painted those paintings.
Brock Purdy is
How about
hard
all
to
the,
understand.
How about all the
Alright, that's supposed to be 97.9 and it's coming in close to 100. That's 97.1. That's 95.9, I think.
And that's all I can do. Everybody say.
That's 95.1. That ought to be coming in about right in there below 96.
Or heart disease, or
And pretty much everything below this is either going to be religious programming or public radio.
Everything else is live.
credit card interest rate radically. Do you find?
Okay, so FM, it does appear to be sensitive in picking up those out-of-town stations, but selectivity sucks on this thing, and the dial accuracy sucks as well, and the tuning is very erratic. Alright, let's try shortwave 1.
I'm telling you, we're going to win it in 2023, 2024. Now, that'd be an entertaining game to go to Magnesium.
I think that's some FM bleed over. That's definitely some FM bleed over.
Children. That'll be it. They can cover underground with that. Get done. Check them out.
Yeah, this thing is virtually useless on shortwave 1. What about shortwave 2? Well, there's WWV. What's it coming in on? 22. I'll have to look and really don't remember what frequencies they come in on. I'm just trying to check dial accuracy here.
So we suddenly realized that we play another important role.
There's something.
In Christmas.
meet him in the air. But it never says he's going back to heaven, because he's here to establish a kingdom on earth.
It's like living by compass.
La crisi climática da ONU News em Nova York.
Amazing as I watch what's going on, as I
Okay, so my thoughts on this radio: it performs about like what I would expect for a cheapo modern day Chinesium radio. This would probably be okay just for emergency use only. If all you needed to pick up was your local broadcast station, but this is not something you would want to use for serious DXing. It just is what it is. Now back around 86, 87 or so, my mother bought me a little Sound Design black plastic portable radio that would run on either batteries or AC. Only mine had the AC cord hardwired into it, and there was a storage compartment next to the battery compartment for the power cord storage. It was just a AM/FM radio. It probably cost about what this set costs today, but the Sound Design, as cheap as it was, it had better performance on AM and FM than this one does. And of course that one used a standard variable condenser for the tuning, so that was a big plus. Alright, here's a little... Alright, is that WSM? If it is, it's coming in a little bit below.
It's like hard to hear on WSM radio.
Yep, it's coming in a little off too. I will say for a little pocket radio, it sounds pretty decent.
Or the Cameo app. That's where you get your favorite celebrities to make personal videos. Extreme MAGA Republican to launch.
I think that's 670. If it is, this is very impressive. Yeah, we're going to say that's 670 out of York, Alabama.
We had a note that came in like a flying parachute, and the predominant color was Bondo. That's the... Viewers, including Tom Ackerman, Debbie Monterey, Carol Daniel.
That's 1390, but where's 910 and 1010?
On your path to financial independence.
With love, I will. And making our way to Madison. AM.
On second thought,
Come on, let's go.
that's actually 910 coming in at about 700. That's what I thought was 670. Both of them are black gospel stations.
Sanders plan. They offer
And that's
the
going to be
cyber and
1010
monitoring tools for today's
coming in at
online
about
world, and they bundle all of their
790.
protection services. Or some.
$13.90 coming in at about $12.90 or so.
Breakable and mental health podcast. Or Inside the Parker with
That's $14.50 coming in at about $1,300.
Systems. Ask about their.
So no, this wasn't actually picking up 670 that well. It's just so far off that it was picking up 910 around where 670 should be. This radio does seem to be a little more sensitive on AM than the other set, but the dial accuracy is atrocious. Now let's try FM. Classic country station. That's funny. Volume turned all the way down, and we have hiss, sort of reminiscent of what old hissy germanium transistors sound like.
Mississippi, 103.7, The Fox.
Once again. That'll help you decide.
I remember when 103.7 was WATR, the elevator music station that my parents listened to in the 80s. And then by about 88, 89, they flipped to more of a adult contemporary format.
What about you? Go to healthychildren.org.
And then I think they went to country, and then they went to what they are now.
Questions can help you find out. That's healthychildren.org
Those elevator music stations are mostly non-existent today.
Were you born from 1945?
Father's child. I know when the son takes the first step, the father's
Travis Scott debate that we were having. You know, over time.
See, the FM jumps from 92 to 100 on the dial.
Merry Christmas, everybody! That was terrible. Merry Christmas from 97.0 KK.
Gotta get some mumble rap in here.
Was involved in your business. Bring it back. The moment when you're thinking, I'm gonna.
That's not the same actual station coming in numerous times. I think those K-Hub stations or Air One or whatever they are, I think they have several translators that all run the same programming. Of course, there's not going to be anything below 88.1, so.
Tesla will issue a fix.
MPB Think Radio.
Yeah,
Whatever your
that's
taste.
88.1.
Music, storytelling, or how-to shows. Whatever your city, Natchez, Jackson, Tupelo, Cleveland. However you want. Radio, smart speaker, smartphone app. MPB Think Radio. With a worsening humanitarian crisis in Gaza for an Israel-Hamas ceasefire.
About what I expected. Lackluster performance in some areas, mainly the dial accuracy and the selectivity. Good enough for emergency use for a local station, but really not suitable for any serious listening or long-range DXing, and the AM calibration on this is atrocious. Risk of electric shock, do not open. Okay, I'll take that risk. I think this is a date code, March of 2023, so this is a relatively recent production. Yeah, 88 to 108 for FM, 530 to 1600 for standard broadcast. Shortwave 1, 3.2 to 10.2, and then 9.8 to 22. And then, of course, we have to focus in on that made in China wording there. Well, I just noticed this. We have a switch down in here to select between 110 volts and 220 volts. Here we are opened up. Does not appear to have a dial string. It appears to be gear driven. There's our little speaker there. And that's all there is to it. And yes, this is a DSP radio. This does not have a variable capacitor for tuning. IC there is probably the audio amp, and then this surface mounted IC right there, and we got some other surface mounted parts. That's your actual radio chip. And here's the inside of the pocket radio. Pretty similar to what the other one is. Just a couple of chips, one for the audio output and one for the RF and IF portions, and a volume control and a pot for the tuning, and that's about it. Alright, that's 1010 coming in at about 790.
About interactions. How do I interact with another human being that has this place of...
So sound quality, for what it is, it sounds okay. Dial accuracy sucks. Here's a Zenith radio from 1967. Oddly enough, this one is made in Hong Kong, but I have another similar Zenith radio from '66 that uses the same chassis, but that one is USA made, so around '66, '67 must have been the transition year for the pocket radios. I know the American-made table radios, I think 1970 was the last year for those. And starting in '71, they shifted production to Korea, Taiwan, Hong Kong, wherever. And I don't know when the Transoceanic ended USA production, but probably somewhere around in there.
Started coming out like he was going to use the ball screen, and Cam Matthews.
Let's see how this one performs.
Just back cut.
That's on 1010.
Sean Jones.
910.
And I said, look, the kid is just, he needs to buy a home, and we're going to help him.
The Rockets are a good team. Saturday night it will be the 5,000
WSM.
Saturday night Grand Ole Opry this weekend, featuring performances from Jamie Johnson, all in a late. So the Palestinian terrorists. Start knocking down some of their shots.
A corrupt man.
And he strangled her to death. She was 16 weeks pregnant.
Yeah, I think that's coming from the camera.
Chicago. The sheriff's office says he left
the body in the car for 2 days before driving to Lake County and dumping the body along Hudson. Throws butt out of office. There's more to it than that. They build a roof.
Their carbon footprint. Get a rebate up to $600.
Library. Yes. I mean, you use it. It's just to build a good roaring fire in the fireplace.
This is an 8 transistor set, so this was one of the better pocket radios. Let's see if this crap is coming from the switching power supply I have plugged in right beside me. Well, no, it's still, some of it's still there. I don't know where that crap's coming from, but... Alright, let's see what the little pocket radio does. Now, somebody told me that the Sony lookalike radio has a better chassis than this does. This is just a clone of the Sony, but does not have the same guts as the Sony.
Before here in the second half.
Alright, that's 1010 coming in about 790.
One of two. State has a... New favorite flavor. No matter who you root for, there's something for everyone to enjoy in a I think that's why you're seeing them.
That here too. Look, even if your car is just over 3 years old, it's still prone to expensive costs. There's
for a foul, and that'll by 1.5.
$13.90. We're picking up that same crap that we were getting on the other radio.
Much money, yeah. It's just.
If you notice, when we had this open, there were no alignment points that I found, so I really don't think there's anything you can do about this. It is what it is. But alright, enough fooling around. We evaluated a couple of newer radios, and like I said, they may be okay for emergency use for picking up the local stations, but as far as any type of accurate DXing, you might better buy something better, or maybe something vintage like this.
Halfway down and out, rebounded by Matthews for State. Hold on. By Smith, nearly loses the ball. Steal it, knocks it up in front of us. Tenacity defensively by Trey Hale.
I mean, there are modern radios that are decent performers, but they cost a lot more than $7.99. If this was still daylight hours, I think we'd find that this Zenith will still pick up $6.70. And I know it did last time I tried.
LeBron James.
Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Save more when you clip your digital coupons. Philadelphia cream cheese or Kellogg's Townhouse
But all in all, the Zenith is a better overall performer,
for everyone.
even though it was made in Hong Kong.
Winter. This holiday season, we've been pride themselves on top quality. That's coming up in it. Crimson carpet clean, only $129 when you.
They cut the lead to 6, and Ime Udoka has seen enough. Timeout, Houston, 8.
that's a good note to end on. Alright, that Sony is an ICF-S10 Mark II, and I found something up here that says 1996 for that. Now, take that with a grain of salt. We'll do a little more research in a minute, but yeah, from what people are telling me, the innards of this Sony and the innards of my little Chinese radio are not even the same animal. But as we know, it's not unheard of for the Chinese to clone the appearances of a popular model of a particular product, so not really surprised by this. Here's one on Amazon for the low bargain price of $200. Yeah, I'll make sure and jump all over that unbeatable price, unbeatable deal there. Alright, daylight hours, obviously. That's 670 coming in on the Zenith. That's something else weak coming in on the Zenith. It's about noon. That's 9:10.
3-week quick start kit, you get it by
10:10. I think that's a station out of Jackson, Mississippi.
But also, there was a story not that long ago about rising fuel costs for So here's one more.
Okay, let's see what the little Chinesium radio does.
This is an unprecedented time of instability.
Well, it might do better if I'd put it on AM instead of FM.
The ball. So now you get him running away.
Nurse, and I take balance.
Remember, that's 9:10 because this dial is horribly out of calibration. That's 670, but not nearly as strong as on the Zenith. And forget about the other weak stations that the Zenith was getting. Yeah, pretty much the Zenith blows this little tinker toy out of the way. Alright, that's 670 on the QFX, but it's coming in at about 750 or so.
Think we can get there in the next day or two. What a blessing that would be on 11 days.
Or maybe that was 9:10 coming in.
Wait till you hear, the White House always
because that's
decorates
10:10.
beautifully, and it's often the First Lady who does the decorations. You're about to see.
Yeah, scratch that. I think that was 9:10 coming in low.
But I think
incidentally invitation out
to the white city councilors.
Yeah, that's 910. Coming in low, just like on the other one. And this one's not even touching 670, so as far as performance, AM performance, this one is the worst. The little pocket radio is a little better. That's not saying much. And the little Zenith Home Cordial pocket transistor radio from 1967 blows these two out of the water. Okay, a couple of thoughts as I prepare this video for publication. This was actually done several weeks ago, and I don't remember if I said this or not. I guess I'm too lazy to go back and rewatch the video, but maybe one day we'll come up on the genuine Sony versions of these radios. Yes, Sony had a couple of radios. It looked cosmetically just like these, but of course contained different internals, and I would hope be a better performer than these. I think the AC/DC Sony version had AM, FM, and weather band, and I think maybe a TV audio band, whereas this set obviously has shortwave band, but it might as well not have shortwave on it, for as useless as it is. And of course, in today's world, we wouldn't need the analog TV audio band anymore. That ceased to be a necessity about 15 years ago. So yeah, like I said, one day we'll probably come across some Sony versions, and we'll review those and see how they measure up. Now, on another note, not related to these radios, I notice on just about every video I put up, in fact, I've come to expect it now, that somebody's going to make a remark about this camera that I'm using. In the latest video, someone made a comment along the lines of, you know, newer cameras are cheap enough. Just about anything you could get would be better than what you're using now, and you can get another camera that's better than that one for practically nothing. Yes, I'm well aware of all that, but here's the deal. I can be a very stubborn bullhead at times. There's bullheadedness all in my family on all sides, and I inherited some of that. And yeah, I could go to Walmart tomorrow, pick up another camera. It would probably be way better than this one in terms of both sound quality and video quality. But here's the deal, as long as people are making snide comments and telling me what I need to do, then that's just motivation for me just to keep using the old camera a little longer. So, in other words, if you want this old camera to go away so badly, then shut up about it. Because as long as you keep talking about it, that's just going to motivate me to put off procuring another one even longer. Alright, so there you go. I hope you got something out of all of this, and we'll come up with something else later.